Okay, let's start the KubeBuilder triage meeting. Today is 12th of January 21, and we will start to record the meeting, so don't say nothing that you don't feel comfortable to be in the internet. Let's start by the issues. The first one is this one. The folk here is asking a little bit more information in the documentation about the metrics. I think it is very, very okay. Someone would like to say something?
I feel like it should be accepted as any documentation request, and also it would be a nice fit for help wanted.
Agree, help wanted. Accepted. Okay, so let's go to the next one. I think the author is here. I'm not sure. Let's see. No, he's not. But basically, if we can check here, has a duplication in the code that is generated. If I'm not wrong, is when we work with webhooks. And we have already a to-do in the code to fix that. And this folk, would you like to contribute to do the fix? So I think it's fine as well. Someone has an objection, or would you like to share something? So I put triage, accept. Help you wanted, it's fine as well, I think.
It could be a good first issue too.
Actually, there's code to remove duplicates of a single line. We should just add for duplicates of multiple lines. I don't know how hard that can be.
Yeah,
Probably if we want to be generic, it will be hard, but if we want it to be exactly the same lines, it should be easy.
Yeah, I think the idea is, like you said, to be more generic and to be to multi-line. So I'm not sure if it'll be really easy. But we can put, okay, triage accept is already. And we can put maybe help wanted, can be, instead of the good first.
That sounds good.
And should we set some milestone for this one?
I don't feel it needs a milestone because it doesn't actually break the code. I mean, it works even if it's duplicated, but it's more like a cleanup. So I don't think it needs any milestone or maybe next year.
Yeah. The documentation, we didn't put the milestone in next. I think it's fine, or yeah, it's not shows more like a backlog. Someone has an objection. So, okay. So the next one is this one. Okay, when when you run KubeBuilder init, shows that we should use the plugins and the project version, but we don't have the values. So this is more a kind of a feature where we try to improve this output and provide the possible plugins, values, and versions.
That's actually handled by the pull request I submitted today. I didn't see the issue. I should also link it to close it when it get merged.
So
The pull request 1934 maybe.
I will put Triage. Accept size has the pull request already, and it can
1937 should fix that.
this one.
Yes.
So,
But the problem is that we are creating a flag set to resolve the plugins, and if we pass help, it's being hard coded, so it returns the help for that flag set instead of the command, but it's fixed with that.
I lost the pull request. Sorry, folks.
Which issue number was it, so that I can add it to my pull request?
I put it. I don't put it. Sorry. Is now I to find the issues.
Okay, don't worry, I will look for it.
I'll refine one moment. One moment. It's here. Can you see the screen? The issue is 1913. So I think we can go on to the next one. And this one is that one that is the same PR. Yes.
Yeah, it's mostly the same. The thing I'm doing in the pull request is basically to build a basic command with all the usage and help information the soonest we can, and use it to report the errors, so that we have all the usage information as soon as we can. That includes like the error you presented here, or the help case from the other issue, and other ones.
Just to clarify, is like now if we run init project version and invalid value for the plugins, we have the error. But as a user, it would be hard to know what value I should put here. So Adilio has been working like if I say something wrong, please let me know. If it has an error, we can return with the help and provide further information like the possible values. Should we put in a milestone? Maybe next. I think it's fine as well, or
I mean, it's already ready for review, so
we put 3. So, oops. So this one is the last one. We actually returning options. So I think she's one, the next one. It's similar. I believe that your pull request you solve as well.
Probably. I would have to check exactly because I didn't check that one, but it should probably also fix that one.
I will
Probably
put,
that pull request solves all the issues related to wrong errors.
yeah, it's accepted. It's more or less the same, just to clarify. If you rerun that, we don't have the required information as well to know what option we should use. So to be expected to have the help for T0 too. So I will put here.
Yeah, I think it should fix it. I will add it to the list.
This is great. Okay. I think this one is already. Would you like to speak about?
Yeah, I actually showed that we moved from the standard YAML library to the Kubernetes based one, and there's the advantage of being handled by Kubernetes, but it also does the YAML processing in two steps. First, it generates JSON, and then it generates YAML, which is a great idea for Kubernetes because they use both JSON and YAML representation. But in our case, we are only using YAML, so we are actually doing two parsers instead of one. And I was just wondering if it would be nice to back to the original version that only parses once, but it's more like a discussion thread than anything else right now. I mean, the implementation is just changing a library. The interface is the same, so it would be really simple. It's more of a discussion topic. Maybe we should handle this on Thursdays.
Yeah, it can be. I think the motivation for we use it is one. It's because it's a Kubernetes, and before we try to reduce the quantity of the dependence of the project to increase the maintainability.
Yeah. I know that advantage. The thing is that it's not a Kubernetes fork of the same library. It's a Kubernetes fork of a library that does it in a different way, which is the one listed. It's the one listed in the second paragraph or third paragraph. In the paragraph in the first topic. God's YAML. Yeah, it's a fork of that library. And the thing is, should we use that library or the standard library? That library, in case we use the God's YAML, it's better to use the Kubernetes one, obviously, because it's a fork and it's better maintained. But the other one does it in a different manner. And at the end, the Kubernetes one depends on the other one. So it's a bit tricky. It's more of a discussion topic that we should handle on Thursdays.
Just one question. What about we open a issue in this repository and check why the scenario is not covered there,
Because the thing is that it makes sense for Kubernetes as a whole, because Kubernetes as a whole has both JSON and YAML representations of its objects. So it's easier to have a library that does it the way God does it. Because when you are creating an object that will be marshaled to YAML, you don't use YAML annotation, you use JSON annotations, and that will work for both JSON and YAML with that library. With the other library, you would have to maintain both the JSON and the YAML part. So that makes sense for Kubernetes as a whole, but we are not using JSON at all. So it doesn't make that much sense for us. So it's not a thing of the Kubernetes one isn't useful for Kubernetes, but it's more a thing of we are using this one and maybe it's not the best fit for KubeBuilder, not for Kubernetes.
Input cheese. And I just know if we have some label for don't come back to choose one, or if we just leave it is now, discussing the next meeting, and then we can come back choosing the next triage meeting. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. And if we in the next meeting we get to an agreement, we can also level it there. So
We can come back on that. I think it is going to be fine as well, unless someone has another option, has another idea over how we should proceed in this scenario. Please feel free to.
was that the last one? No.
So now we have only more two. Okay. This one, I believe that is for we support started to generate the binary for this architecture. That is a new architecture for macOS. If we check here the releases now, we have Linux, MG, ARM for Linux as well. But for Darwin, we have just MG. So it's a feature request. For me, it shows really fine, really reasonable. Since we support by default macOS and Linux. What do you think, folks?
I think we should accept it. I'm personally curious about this one, so maybe you could even assign it to me.
Oh, Jesus.
This is one of those issues that should be really easy, should be just adding a level or a level to a list, but then doesn't end up being like that. So probably there will be a lot of small things over there.
I suspect there'll be a lot of corner cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has the KubeBuilder tools. I believe that is there, the code for the release process. Probably we need to add there.
Yeah, and we will have to do that for all the versions of Kubernetes that we are supporting in our continuous integrations. So that's from 113, if I'm not mistaken, to 119.
I think Eric and I did work in this area in the last month. So probably both can help you as well, Gabi. And feel free to ping me as well if you.
Definitely. Yeah, let's put it under next.
Yeah, I think
milestone.
It's not a high priority thing.
Agree.
So, the next one, the last one. I'm not sure if I got a properly choose one. it's about the folk is saying here about in the document in the documentation we explain how to implement the tests and everything, and in the scaffolds we just scaffold the switch test. So I'm not sure if he would like we started to scaffold a controller test for each controller that is scaffolded, or and add it in the switch test, or if he has anything else. So I just make the question, put here the link for the test data with the latest version, and ask if he could put it like an example and describe exactly, what he would like to expect it with the code that he would like to find in this example. Or be sure, but if someone would like to take or
I
have
think he
it.
means that from that auto-generated file, from that scaffolded file, there's something that you have to write manually. I haven't done end-to-end tests lately, so I'm not sure if there was any part that had to be done manually. But if it's the case, we may want to use the insert logic that we are using in main and other files to generate that part of code too.
Yeah,
You're gonna sing that to me, and I will take a look when I have some time.
I can put, but I think it's nice, but I think what you think about requires more information as well, like
Yeah, sure.
because if the folk provides exactly, an example, you will be sure, because the for switch not necessarily I doesn't know what exactly he would like to have, I doesn't know if he is the controllers, like the fragments to call into the controller underline test, but I'm not sure if he like catch up with it anyway. Triage, triage, it's now, it's over. So I think it's fine. I think the next thing that we can do is check the milestones. For the next release, we have this one that it's easy.
Yeah, that's like cleanup at the end of the line.
Yeah, this is fine.
That's a search and replace.
It's just we replace V2 mainly for
Yeah,
V3.
for B3. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing about the first issue is that when we do it, we want to do it when there are no pull requests pending for right now. So because it will make everything need a rebase, and probably the rebases will introduce some bugs. So we probably want like to freeze the code for some time, make the B3 and do it the last part of the version 3 release process or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it has no way, it has no solution in this case, because we need to replace the imports, and all open requests after that get merged. You recover a base, which is boring. But I think we don't have it so much big open pull requests now. I believe so.
Oh, there are a couple.
This one we need to wait for the stable release. This one I'd like to speak. I'd like just to ask a help for you folks. I pushed a pull request with the steps to migrate the project. So if you folks have time and you'd like to collab, you'll be very welcome because we need to update this documentation. Probably before the stable one is still missing some step, but at least we have the biggest part here. And if you have any better idea or an easy way for the users that should be the same, would you be nice as well? Get your feedback. And it is one is for we create the branch and with the documents, and then we probably need to do some configuration to put the master one for the new branch. But I put here that is blocked by the migration guide, for we don't need to do another pull request against the new branch as well. You know, I think it's better wait a little. Is that has someone that would you like to raise any topic? Make some question, suggestion. So I think we can finish the bug triage meeting for today. And I would like to say really thank you for your attendance and collaboration and all your help to keep the products great.
And now there are 30 minutes free to check the pull requests that are uploaded and review them.
Yeah, we can
Wink,
use
wink.
them. Really thank you all.
All right, see you on Thursday.
See you.
See you on Thursday.